everyone, I'm TDJ and I am the artist behind TDJ Designs. Today I will be doing my very first Q&A video. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, which if you don't, my Instagram is at tdjdzn, you will know that I posted a story recently asking for any questions that you might have related to my life or about my art. So today I will be answering the questions. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first question is, what is your age, where are you from, and what type of art do you make? So I am currently 15 years old and I am from Toronto, Canada, and still in Toronto, Canada. And the type of art that I make is digital art. To be a little more specific, I like to draw logos for people, I like to create banners, I like to draw people, and I also like to try new different styles. So the next question is, what are tips to start a business for young entrepreneurs? Now, I'm no expert when it comes to starting a business at a young age, but I can give some tips that I used when I started out. So the first thing is to definitely ask people who work in the niche that you want to sell products in. Or you want to start your business in. So for me, I asked people who were creating stickers and who were selling stickers, and I asked them a lot of questions. I also asked family and friends to see what their opinions were as well. Not only that, but I also looked at a ton of YouTube videos to find videos based on stickers and based on starting a business and things related to Etsy, because Etsy can be very confusing for a beginner, so I definitely recommend watching videos and asking people who work in your niche. Also, just believe in yourself. Believe that you can, start a business and that you can achieve your goals. There is no minimum or maximum age to start a business. You could start today if you really wanted to. In fact, that's what I recommend. I recommend starting as soon as you can so that when the future comes, you don't forget about the idea and so that you don't delay it. So the next question is, how hard is visual art? Now, this is a big question, but for me, I've been doing art since I was 3. So I've been doing art for like 12 years, 13 years, so it's been a really long time. Depending on the concept, however, it varies. So for example, for me, drawing portraits isn't always the easiest because it does take a lot of time. But something like drawing mandalas is very easy for me because I do it quite often. So hopefully that answers your question. It's not that difficult if you just put in the effort and you put in the work. You'll get better and better with practice. The phrase "practice makes perfect" comes true when it comes to art. So hopefully that answers your question. Now the next question, which I kind of covered already, but I'll just answer it again, is how long have you been into art? So in art in general, I've been into art since I was 3 and I'm currently 15. So it's been 12 to 13 years. It's been a really long time, but I've been doing traditional art all my life until when I was around 13 or 14. I switched over to digital, which is what I do now. So I've been doing art for pretty much my whole life. So the next question is, when did you get into digital art and why did you make that switch from traditional to digital? So I started digital art in 2020. The first post was on April 20th, 2020. So I started digital art when quarantine first came into effect. And the reason why I made the switch from traditional to digital was just because digital art is, more into our modern day now. More people prefer digital art, and I just, for those of you who don't know, when I first opened up my Instagram, I started off as a painting business. I painted on actual canvases, I drew on actual paper, and I tried selling it, and for months and months and months, I was trying to, paint and create physical pieces, but I realized quickly that many people aren't really into traditional art, just from my experience. So that's why I made the switch over to digital, and I do not regret that decision. I love creating digital art, and I definitely see myself continuing it for a pretty long time. Another question someone asked is, do you miss traditional art sometimes? So to answer your question, yes and no. The reason why I say yes is because I miss doing traditional art like on a daily basis. I don't really do traditional art on a daily basis. That's switched over to digital. But the reason why I also say no is because it's not that I've completely quit traditional art. I still create traditional art. I post on my stories quite often when I just do like a painting here and there. So I haven't completely quit it, also because I have so many traditional art supplies, because I've tried so many niches of traditional art. So I still do it just for fun, but I definitely do miss doing it on a daily basis. So the next question is, if digital art didn't exist, what do you think you would be doing in terms of art now? So if digital art didn't exist, I think I would still continue with traditional art. More specifically, I think I would have still continued with painting, and I would have tried creating or continuing a business out of that. Another question that someone asked is, what's your favorite design you've ever created? Now, I've created lots of digital art in my a little over 1 year of creating digital art. I think my favorite piece at the moment would probably have to be the pink and yellow eye that I created for my pink and yellow collab that I hosted. I just really love that piece because it was a new style. So if you haven't seen my art, my style is mainly just outlining with black and then coloring it in and adding like a bit of shading here and there. But this style, there was no line work. There was no distinctive line work to it. And it definitely took a really long time. But my favorite part about this piece would probably have to be the eye and the eyelashes. I definitely think that those two things really make the piece, what it is, and it really makes it super special. So as of right now, I would definitely have to say that that piece is my favorite. The next question is, what inspired you to start your own small business? Now, I believe what actually inspired me to start my own small business is actually YouTube again. I love YouTube so much, but I remember maybe a month or two before I actually started working on the small business, I saw a few videos of people starting sticker businesses. More specifically, like they were started in the peak of quarantine. So people had time on their hands and, they didn't know what to do. So people started small businesses, and I really got inspired by it. Also, ever since I was little, ever since I started art, I always dreamt of having my designs and my art onto physical products. And so I knew that this was something that I really wanted to do, and whether if I'd continue it forever or not, I knew that I wanted to start it soon. So definitely YouTube videos, and also my younger self definitely inspired me to start my small business. The next question is, what are some downsides to digital art? I would say that the biggest downside to digital art is definitely that it's quite straining on the eye. Traditional art is also straining on the eye, don't get me wrong, especially if you're working in long sessions. But with digital art, you're probably working long sessions, but also you're staring at a screen for a very long time. And, a lot of blue light can go into your eye, which can be straining, and it might make your eyes, feel like tense. And so I've definitely experienced that very early on when I started digital art, which is why I actually have these glasses. These are computer glasses, so they are less straining on my eyes. But that's definitely the biggest downside to digital art. And there are ways to help this issue of straining your eyes. You can get an app. The one that I use is called Flux, and it's an app where it puts like a filter on your screen. So for me, it's like a yellow filter, and it'll filter out the blue light so that it's less straining on the eye. But also you can get blue light glasses. Blue light glasses pretty much do the same thing, but you're just putting them as glasses on your face, and it does the same thing. So I definitely say that the biggest downside is the straining on the eyes when creating digital art. The next question is, how can you keep up with this business besides school and friends? Now, it is definitely a challenge to keep up with this business alongside school and friends and family, and it's still something that I'm definitely learning to do. But from what I've been doing so far, I really just prioritize my time. I usually dedicate the weekends to any last minute homework that I need to finish up, or any projects that I need to work on. And then I'll dedicate the rest of that weekend to working on my business, working on art, hanging out with friends, talking with family, and things like that. But during the school day, I usually just go to school, then I come home and I work on homework right away. I try to finish all my homework as early as I can so that I have the rest of the day to work on business or talk with friends or connect with family, and things like that. So I definitely try to focus on school first, because school is my priority since I am 15, and that is my main priority. And then comes the business and all that. Hopefully that answers your question, but I just definitely recommend prioritizing your time, whether if it's writing it down in a planner or on a piece of paper. Just prioritize your time well and you should be good to go. The next question is, why did you choose to make stickers? Now, for those of you who do not know, I do have a sticker business. I never officially announced it, but I did start a business, a sticker business in specific. The reason why I decided to start with stickers is because they are, decently easy to make. And I am the only person who's running my business. My family obviously helps me out. But I'm the one who's mainly doing the designs and mainly creating the actual stickers. So it does take time to do it by myself. But the reason why I decided to do stickers was because a lot of people, love stickers, and they're lightweight, so it's easy to ship out and it's easy to start with. And it's not a lot of, there's not a lot of upfront cost to buy the supplies and things like that. So that's why I started off with stickers. But in the future, if all goes well, if many people are really interested in my stickers and my products and things like that, I will be moving on to other products such as pins and keychains and notebooks and things like that. The next question is, what is your hobby apart from drawing? So apart from drawing, I do have a few other hobbies. I love to play basketball. I love to watch and play basketball. I'm a huge fan of watching the Toronto Raptors, if you guys can't tell from my artwork. But I love to watch and play basketball. I also love reading. I love to read books and listen to audiobooks while I'm working on art. And I also love to, do traditional art in my free time. And I love to go biking as well. So those are just a few hobbies that I have besides digital art. The next question is, how can we start with hosting our own collab? So for those of you who don't know, on Instagram a couple weeks ago, I hosted my very first artist collab, and it was a lot of fun. The artists were all so kind, so talented, and everyone was so supportive of each other, and it was just overall a very positive environment. And to get that, I definitely recommend setting some guidelines to the group chat of your collab. So for me, I told people to, not post promotional stuff onto the group chat. And I also created another group chat called a support group, a pink and yellow support group, where people could post their promotional stuff so that we could all support each other. And I also asked people to, be kind to each other and make sure that, no one's judging each other, and also make sure that nobody's, being rude to each other. And also, you have to be a positive, leader. For others to be positive, you have to be positive. And also, if any situations occur, which in our collab, a few situations did occur, nothing major, however, just, deal with it with respect and deal with it as appropriately as you can. It's not that hard, don't overthink it, but definitely set some guidelines to the collab. The next question is, which software do you use for illustrations? For illustrations, I use Adobe Illustrator. I love the app. I think it's absolutely amazing. But I would love to also try Procreate someday. but I know that Procreate and Adobe Illustrator aren't free. So for any of you who want to start out with digital art, I definitely recommend using Autodesk Sketchbook, IBIS Paint, Medibang Pro, and Clip Studio Paint. Those are 4 amazing apps that you can use. And if you don't want to use any of those, you can always Google other digital art apps. There are a ton of free options out there. And the very last question is, what are 5 things you are really loving this month? 5 things that I'm really loving this month are the weather here where I live. It's very sunny and it's nice and hot, so I get to go outside and I get to play, which is a lot of fun. I also love how I'm able to go biking. I've also been playing basketball a lot. And I also love how this month I've been able to go to a cottage and see my family. And also I am very happy that I was able to work on my small business this month. So those are 5 things that I really enjoyed about this month. And that wraps up my very first Q&A video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you to everyone who asked me questions on Instagram. I tried to answer as many as I could. If I was not able to answer your question, I do apologize. If you still do have any other questions, you can always let me know and ask me on my social media and also through my email. I also hope that you guys are happy to see me and see my face, and I will be posting my face and including myself in more videos more often. So I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.